Hey, Daily Dosers, Chris here. Happy Monday to each of you. I know last week we spent looking at this new series we're doing on the Daily Dose, a God of Miracles. And as cool as it is to see God doing miracles, sometimes do you walk away from those a little disappointed, wondering, so when's mine? Sometimes it's almost discouraging to hear that God has done great miracles and then to go, so where are they today? How come he's not stepping in and answering my prayer? And let me give you a discouraging miracle today that's meant to encourage each and every one of us. Can I do that? It comes from the book of Mark. It's a short little paragraph. Mark chapter 8, verse 22. Then they, Jesus and the disciples, came to Bethsaida, and some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand, led him outside the village. When he had spit on the man's eyes and put his hands on him, Jesus asked, "Do you see anything?" The man looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees walking around." So once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. Then his eyes were opened, his sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. And Jesus sent him home saying, "Don't go in to the village." It's an odd little miracle of Jesus. In fact, I don't think we have any miracle like this in the Bible, where Jesus tries to heal, finds out he didn't quite do it right, and he has to go back again. Now, we get that. We can go to a doctor or something and have to go back later. We can go to a chiropractor and have to go back and get tweaked later. We get that. But when you expect to come to Jesus and Jesus does a miracle, you don't expect that you have to come back later. You don't expect that Jesus goes, "All right, can you see?" And the guy's like, "Sort of. I mean, it's better. I was blind. Now everything's kind of fuzzy. Everyone looks like just big trees. But hey, thanks. At least it's better." Then Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes and healed him. Now I can see. So the question has to come, why? Obviously, Jesus has a point in what seems to be an unsuccessful attempt at fully healing someone. Why? Because in the passages that all lead up to this and the passages that follow, it's about Jesus' followers, the disciples and the Pharisees, the religious people that should know better, constantly questioning Jesus, constantly coming up short in who they think he is and what he is doing. And the frustration is building, even with disciples in the boat who don't understand what Jesus is about and what he's doing. The very next story after this unsuccessful miracle, if you will, is about Jesus walking in a place saying, "Who do people say I am?" And the disciples say what the crowd thinks. And he goes, "What about you?" And Peter goes, "I think you're the Messiah, the Son of God." And Jesus goes, "That's right." And then Peter pulls him aside and says, "But you don't have to die on the cross. We're not going to go to Jerusalem." See, this unsuccessful miracle is caught in the midst of pages of really followers unsuccessfully seeing who Jesus is. And there's this cool little action where Jesus puts his hands on the man's eyes. "Can you see anything?" A little bit, but not quite. And then he does it again. "What about now?" "Oh, now I can see." See, I wanted to bring this up on this Monday because we've heard a week of miracles. And I think sometimes we think that our spiritual life, our spiritual maturity, our walk with God is going to grow by leaps and bounds or a big miraculous event. Well, miracles really didn't have these major life changes throughout the Bible. Just read about the nation of Israel. They followed a God of miracles and they constantly doubted. What I love about this story here is that spiritual growth isn't huge leaps and signs. It's simply about being in the presence of Jesus and these gradual moments of change. So with this miracle, can I encourage you? Can you look at where your life was 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Has there been some spiritual growth? And if you can go, wow, if you look back over the past 3, 4, 5 years, yeah, there's been a lot of spiritual growth, then can I encourage you, just keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. Maybe you're not walking on water. Maybe you're not performing your own miracles. But it seems to be that spiritual life is a walk. It's a daily, just being in the presence of Jesus and going back to last Monday, just doing what he's telling us to do. And he takes these average water pots, the ordinary, and he does something extraordinary. In fact, right in the middle of his own disciples and religious people not seeing him clearly, not getting him, there is a miracle, not unsuccessful, but a gradual healing. Almost as if our Creator says, "I know you guys don't get me. I know you guys just aren't like, whoa, I can walk on water now. I'm an amazing spiritual giant." He goes, "But just keep allowing me to touch you and work in you and through you. and your eyes will be open more and more. This isn't an unsuccessful miracle. It's an incredibly encouraging miracle. For those of us that are discouraged that amazing things aren't happening all at once. And I hope it encouraged you today.